your Venus energy, my loves, wherever it is, both by sign and house, it's your receptive energy. And if we want to cultivate consistency and generate, we have to be in the flow of energy where we're willing to give, but we're also open to receive. And some of us feel safer in one than the other. And our Venus, when we are activating and exemplifying it in our lives, we can create so much and feel empowered in the polarity of exchange, which is important. Thank you for being here, my angels. Welcome to the Stability Method. I'm just very excited and very honored to walk you through this masterclass. Real quick, we're going to stay very engaged. So if you've never been to an I'm sorry, I might say MWM. If you've never been to an NB masterclass, I'm in MWM all the time. If you've never been in an NB masterclass, they're very active. I'm an Aries. I've got 7 planets in fire. I like to keep you involved because that's really how you're going to have a powerful and even transformative experience the more engaged you are. Before we get started, let's just give ourselves a huge round of applause. Just real quick, do a round of applause. It's cute. It's fun. It's cute and fun. It's cute and fun. Because you know what? I'm just so proud and so in awe of anyone who's willing to show up and make a change in their lives and learn something new. Because as a student myself, I know that it can be vulnerable to show up in a space and just say, okay, Natalia, like I'm trusting you with my focus. I'm trusting you with my consciousness. I'm trusting you with my time. And so I just want to say thank you. I do not take that lightly. And I'm going to say this a trillion times tonight, but I'm just so, so honored that you're here, whether you're brand new or you've been with me lots and lots. So where we're going to focus our energy tonight is creating consistent cash flow every single month. So for those of you that are a little bit new to me or new to my work, something that we're going to work with is what I like to call the practical tactical structure, the practical tactical tangible. That's going to be the money system. That's going to give money a safe place to land. And we're also going to work with the emotional, the energetic, and the astrological. So that might sound like a whole mouthful, but it is very straightforward. And something that I found is very simply, I used to feel like money was not spoken in a way that I understood. My daddy, who many of you know passed away last year, he was a CFO CPA. He was a Scorpio, and he would try to teach me money. And I was like, this man may as well be speaking a language from another planet. It just didn't land. It didn't really make sense to me until I was about 31. I'm going to tell you my story really quickly. For those of you who've been around, you're going to be like, we've heard it, but I'll make it real short and sweet just to give you some context around why I teach this stuff. So one more time, I'm so proud of you for making it. Thank you for coming. I'm proud of you for making it. So why you're here is because money might feel inconsistent and unpredictable. And one core essence of this class and what we're going to be covering in the very short time that I have with you tonight is that your ambition oftentimes isn't the issue. It's very simply that we usually don't have like safe structure for money to flow into. And when we have safe structure and we can see what's going on, believe it or not, my angels, we often feel so much more apt to do what it is that we need to do to create more. Because so often I found this with myself. I find this from working with, I don't know, I'm assuming it's been thousands of women at this point. We'll say hundreds to thousands. Very simply, a lot of times the block is, Natalia, why would I call in more? Why would I seek to create more if I cannot handle what it is that I already have? And I want to introduce myself real quickly, even if we know each other. So I'm Natalia Benson. My girlies call me NB. Sometimes they call me Nat. I'm a money mentor. I've been a studying astrologer for about 16, 17 years. I've been online for a really long time. I used to write horoscopes, and I told my dad when I was like 21 and I had my jewelry line. That's me. If you can believe it or not, I am like a I'm like here to transform, I guess. I don't know who made this soul plan, but I guess I did. But yeah, that's me many, many moons ago with my first business. And I remember telling my Papa Bear on a walk, I was like, Dad, I'm going to use social media to sell jewelry. And that might sound like commonplace now, but when I was like 21 years old, that was not commonplace. I was doing it on MySpace. So I've been online for a super, super long time. And I'm just, I evolve and transform in real time. And many of you, as I mentioned, and just to acknowledge you, I know you've been in my community for a really, really long time. And that is an unbelievable privilege. And if you're newer, welcome. You are finding one of the most beautiful, supportive, kind, connective spaces on the internet. So I'm happy that you found us. I'm an Aries sun. I'm a Cap rising, as you can tell from this photo in the black. It's a very Capricorn rising. I have a Sag moon. I love to teach. I love to communicate. I love to storytell. Even as I'm teaching tonight, I'll bring things forward just to like give context as to why I'm teaching you this stuff. Things just kind of flow through. And then for anybody who's into human design, I'm a 1-3 manifesting generator. So I'm super duper Manny Gen. I mean, my Lord. I'm an amateur fashion blogger. I'm kidding. That's actually a joke for anyone who's been with me on stories lately. That's like my new thing is I want to like be a fashion blogger and I'm studying to become a medium. So little bit about me. I want to just share something with you. I don't share my numbers to be like, oh, Yahoo, like here are my numbers. I'm puffing up my chest. I'm extremely proud, but I want to illustrate something for you. As I mentioned, I am here on this earth to transform and to do it in front of people. I have a Pluto direct conjunct my midheaven. For anyone who doesn't know what that means, Pluto is this planet of transformation in our natal charts. The midheaven is our public point. So I'm literally a big expression for me is like, I'm here to transform and to like show you my transformation in a very, very public way. And if you've been with me online this year with like my divorce and like just transforming my health, my body, like it's just part of the gig, I suppose. This is the soul blueprint. But I want to share something with you. This first business that I had, my jewelry line, I would say on a good year, we did about $25,000 in a year. Very, very inconsistent. And now moving from my what I like to call my soul aligned business, which is essentially an expression of my astrological chart, my astrological financial blueprint, which I'm going to talk to you a bit about tonight. We now do 25K a month minimum, very consistent. So I just want to illustrate that and share some numbers because we're here to talk about money tonight. And what I want to share so deeply is that no matter where you are, whether these numbers seem small to you or they seem ginormous to you, it doesn't matter. What I want to illustrate is that no matter where you are, you can move from inconsistency to consistency. And a core anchor of doing that, and we're really going to focus on this tonight, is knowing your numbers. Knowing your numbers, knowing where you are, and then cultivating and this is like a word I kind of make up, a generative mindset where you're working with your astrology as well as your practical, tactical money systems to actually generate and generate in a consistent way. And so that's what I want to touch in with you tonight. I want to be really thorough. I do have a really beautiful gift for you. It's something that you're going to be able to keep forever. And I will walk you through how to use it tonight. So the problem, feast or famine cycles. So here is my understanding. And I will tell you something, my loves, and I'm very, very sensitive to talk about this stuff. I have a personal perspective about like feast or famine cycles. Here's my thought. I think so often the relationship that we have to safety with money is very ancestral. I know for a fact the financial history of my family, meaning I know that feast or famine was a very prominent expression and experience in my genetic line. And I want to speak into this because I think so often we can get so hard on ourselves about having these disorganized and even chaotic relationships with our finances, with relationship with our finances. However, we have to remember that so often this stuff is inherited. And while that can be like, oh my God, well, what do I do? Well, the gift is that even if you didn't create it per se, you now have an opportunity to heal it. So feast or famine, what does that even mean? I'm sure we're all somewhat, it paints quite a powerful picture. Feast or famine is when we have a really great month, a really high month. And if we look at our revenue in our business, or even if we don't have a business yet, or maybe we just have a career, you might look at your revenue and be like, it's like these massive peaks and valleys where it's like a really big month and then there's nothing, and then a medium month and then there's nothing, and then there's a really big month and then there's lots of months where there isn't much. And so, what we need to do to actually shift this is we want to work with like structure and energetics. So, we want to have a safe place for our finances to live. And we also need to know where exactly we are starting so that we can make a change. It's not your fault, but it is now your responsibility. And I want you to tune in for a moment and just be like, why is this important to me? Like, why is having consistency important to me? And I want you to write it down in your notes. Why is having consistency important to me? So I want to make this connection to what we're doing tonight, like a healthy relationship. So just like a healthy relationship, money craves structure, a system, and safety, energy. So just like a healthy relationship, money craves structure, having a system to land in, and safety, like energetic safety in your body, which is rooted in your nervous system. It's rooted in your beliefs. It's rooted in your relationship to yourself, how safe you feel with yourself, with life, all the things. So consistent overflow requires energy and a system working together. So the energy, these are the beliefs and the patterns that drive our behavior. And my loves, here's the thing. I always have a little jokey joke with my girlies who are in MWMM. I'm always like, it's magic, but it's not. I'm like, here's the magic. Here is the actual magic of the work that we do with this stuff. It's actually becoming clear by focusing on your patterns that aren't working for you and then doing something different. I'm going to say that one more time because this is important. It's focusing on the patterns that you do, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, and then doing something different. So the energetic shift, the shift in the magic is when we become aware of our beliefs and our patterning and the stuff that actually drives our behavior. Because I'll tell you what, and I'm always very forthright with my cutie duties. I'm not perfect with money. I built this because I used to be a dumpster fire and I still have things where I'm like, wow, new level, new devil. I really messed that up. Oh, I got to go back to the drawing board, or I need to do this better. So I want to share with you, I don't teach you this stuff from like, I'm sitting on the mountain and I have it all freaking figured out. But I built the system and what I'm teaching you tonight because it's what I needed and it's what I need. It's what I use. So when we become aware of our beliefs and patterns, we therefore can impact our behavior and do different things. And what I'm going to show you tonight, my loves, is going to show you your beliefs and patterns. It's going to be like magic, but it isn't. We're just putting our focus on it. And again, I know I've said this like 10 times. I'll say it 10 more. I'm so proud of you for showing up for this and being vulnerable to look at this stuff because it's not always easy. If you're not making consistent money and you don't feel like you have consistent stability, but you want it, freaking heck yeah, that you would show up to something where it's like, let me learn something and do something new so I can cultivate new behavior, new beliefs, new patternings. The second component, we're going to have a system. We're going to have a clear structure that organizes and stabilizes our money. My angel, what is with my weird rhyming tonight? I don't know what I'm doing. Please forgive me. I didn't get great sleep last night. We're still cruising. I was about to say angel dangels. Don't know where that came from. We're going to just, we're gonna just go. For it. Anyhow, what I'll come back to over and over and over is you cannot change and transform what you're not paying attention to. You just can't. A lot of us have this mentality, and I say this with gentleness, but we have this mentality that someday, some way, it's just going to change. And be gentle with yourself if you're like, that stings a little, NB. I feel that. I hear that. Because you know what? There is part of me that just kind of hopes it shifts. And guess what? All of this can change. It takes focus and a little something called time and application. And you can do it because you're here. So the combination of the energetics and the system, this gives us sustainable, predictable results. We're going to work with both sides of the coin. So what I'm going to take you through now, my angels, this is where we're going to get really like hands-on, is we're going to look at the 3 pillars of the stability method. So 1 is clarity, 2 is cash flow, and 3 is consistency. So clarity is going to show us where we are, but it's going to show us where we are in terms of like our beliefs, our patterns, and our behaviors. The cash flow is going to be where I'm going to introduce you to 2 aspects of my money system. They're very simple and straightforward, but just because they're simple doesn't mean that they're easy to do. Because a lot of times, especially if you're brand new to my work or you've never done what we're going to do, you might have a little resistance, but it's okay. That's part of it. That's part of it. So be gentle and be gracious with yourself if that comes forward for you. And then lastly, it's going to be consistency. I'm going to show you a simple process, so to speak, on how to implement repeatable habits. Because I'm going to tell you something, my angels, having a Capricorn ascendant, I am like here to support you in the systems that will give you a lifestyle change. Get rich quick doesn't exist. It just doesn't. At least it doesn't here. Maybe it exists somewhere else. Doesn't exist here. We're going to get rich and we're going to create wealth because then you have to be the kind of person who can steward it and take care of it. How many of you have ever received more money than you needed and it overwhelmed the SHIT out of you? Let's go ahead and dive into the process and let's do it. Let's do it. So 1, clarity. This is where we're going to really look at our money story and our money direction. So what we're going to do first is we're going to write down our current money experience in 3 bullet points. So I don't want you don't need to go like off to the races and write everything that's happening in your money right now, especially maybe the stuff that you don't like. I just want you to sit for a moment and be like, okay, if I were to deduce down exactly what's occurring in my money in 3 bullet points, this is what it is. Okay, I'm experiencing debt. Okay, my business makes this much one month and this much the next. I'm in like a job that I don't really like. This kind of thing. Okay, so whatever your current experience of money is in 3 bullet points. And then we're going to say this next part with deep gentleness. And guess what? I do this work all the time. So that's why I can hold your hand with it and be gracious and gentle with you because I do this stuff too. And like it can sting sometimes. And then sometimes it feels like really liberating and exciting. And a lot of times it stings and then it's liberating. But here's the thing. These 3 bullet points that you're writing down, my loves, this is your current money story and this is your current beliefs about what is possible. Beautiful. Let's just be with it. Because what did I say a little bit ago? We cannot transform what we're not looking at. Right? So this is a gift to be able to sit and look and create the space and time, come together in a loving, supportive community and do this stuff. So Yahoo. Number 2, we're going to write down the most exciting, peace-inducing opposite of each of these experiences. So this directs our internal GPS to where we truly want to go. And I would like it to look like this on your notes. Write it out like this. So you're going to write your 3 bullet points. Okay, let's go back to my example. I have debt. Maybe you know the amount of debt. So maybe write down the debt if you know it. I make this much one month in my business and I make this the next month, or I'm not making money in my business yet, or whatever it may be. 3rd, I'm in a job right now that I don't love, or yeah, we'll stick with that example. And then what you're going to do, you're going to be honest and loving with those three current experiences with your finances. And then you're going to write a little arrow and you're going to write down your vision. So, my invitation to you would be write down the most exciting, peace inducing opposite of each current experience. How do you get yourself to believe it, to become it? I say this a lot in MWMM to my girlies. I'm always like, you you come to believe it by doing the things that scare you. Like showing up, like courage is actually created through the scary things that we do. As crazy as that sounds. So essentially with money tracking, I'm going to say this again, we cannot transform what we won't look at. So, where we're going to start is we want to look. So, I have done this for business owners, but obviously, if you are in a career, it looked like most of you, even if you were in a career, you were also had a business or wanted to have a business. So, there looked like there was a beautiful mix there. So, if you need to change these names once it's yours, you can do whatever you please. But what you want to do here is you want to just start to see the cadence of your money. You want to actually witness, okay, so if I'm a coach, let's say I have like one-to-one coaching and I'm making, let's dream, let's have fun. I love seeing fun numbers here. Okay, let's just say, all right, I have a deposit every month for $5,000 from my one-to-one coaching. Let's say I'm also working in a career and you're obviously going to have like a name for this wherever you work. You say, okay, I get $3,000 from my career, my paycheck. So now we're looking, okay, I know that I have this coaching income and then I also have a paycheck. And the way you're going to know this is how is you're going to go into your bank account and you're going to go and look and see how am I making money? When are deposits coming in? What is the money coming from? And then you're going to fill this out. Okay. So I'm going to keep this here for just a moment. The same is going to go with your personal expenses. And then if you have a business, you're going to do the same with your business expenses. So this is literally going to be, okay, like my personal expenses, I have rent. My rent is $3,000. Okay. Then I know that I have like my phone bill. But again, you're not going to guess this stuff. You're going to actually go in and you're going to do this. You're going to track your money. And my suggestion, my loves, and if you need to make more space, you literally go like this. Actually, even better, what I'm going to show you is you're going to go like this. You're going to, if you have a Mac, you're going to go control, like right click, and then you're going to go insert 5 rows. And then what will happen is that wherever you write, it's going to tally it up for you. And this is going to start to give you an idea. Okay, I have this much coming out of my business expenses. This is how much I have coming in monthly. And these are my personal expenses. And my loves, the reason why this is so important is because when we move on to our monthly tracking, we want this to be filled out and ready because, babes, then when you go to your monthly tracking, you just get to you literally just get to duplicate and then you can start to track and see how much money do you have coming in? Okay, thank you for that warning. How much money do I have coming in? How much money do I have going out? And so basically what this does is you can see I filled this out a bit. So this is someone with like a pretty robust business. So it's like, okay, team payments, my office rent, my expenses, business credit card payments. Hey, monthly additional expenses. I bought my client flowers. I had a mastermind payment. Okay, here's what I offer in my business. Here are my numbers. Here's a projection that I have this month. So how are we doing? Can we see how we can get the overview here? But this starts to give us an overall view. What do I have coming in? What are my expenses? What are my business expenses? And then what are my personal expenses? And I made a formula for you down here so we can actually start to see, okay, how much is going out? And then do I have any profit? And some of you might find that when you start to do this, you're like, holy crap, like I'm going into the negative every single month. Okay, well, I'm going to start to ideate. I'm going to go into my vision month and I'm going to start to write out, okay, so let's just say these aren't our numbers. Okay. Let's just say that we only have coaching clients right now. And our coaching clients are like very spotty, we don't really have a means. And then let's say, let me just add a little something here, like her job, paycheck. Okay. So our coaching clients is giving us 800. Let's say we had a good month with our job or we got a commission and we're here. And as we start to track, it's like, you know what? I am like going into the negative. What I'm making is not equating to what I have going out. And so we start to be able to see what's going on. Now, let's say, okay, I want to start to give like my vision month. This is where I want you to dream. So on tab 4, this is where I want you to dream. This is where I want you to start to fill in the gaps. So if I've done my numbers and I'm going about 500 under negative, I want to be like, okay, I'm actually been wanting to launch this offer. Let's start to ideate together. And we're going to do this with our Venus placements in a moment. Can you guys give me like some ideas, like something maybe that you've wanted to do in your business yet that you haven't, that you're like, I know this would create some more consistency, but I haven't done it yet. So Substack, live events, evergreen course, memberships, amazing. Mastermind. Okay. So let's say that I'm like, you know what? I want to launch a membership. And my goal, depending on what it is, let's say that it's $197 a month. You're literally going to write in here. This is going to be like your idea partner. Let's say $197 a month, and I want to be making at least $1,500 a month more every single month. So I'm actually going to set something up in my business, whether it's a membership, a mastermind, an offer that I've had an idea around. And I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to charge $197 a month for this thing. And let's say I want to make 1,500 more a month. I'm just like numbers cuckoo. So let me see. 1,500 divided by 197. That would be about 8 enrollments. 1,500. Okay, let me just look. Okay, that starts to give me a profit. Okay, cool. And then dream even bigger. Be like, okay, well, next year, let me see what else you guys want here. Okay, I also, you know what? I don't want to do as many coaching clients at some point. I do want to eventually cut down on my freelance stuff. But you know what? I've really been wanting to launch a mastermind. How much would I love to be making? Okay, let's just say I'm making 3,500 a month. And then we go down here and look at the numbers and we see how we're doing. And my loves, here's another thing. And I'm going to coach around this. I'm going to answer questions. So we're going to have fun with this. Plus, we're going to talk about your Venus to help you give you ideas for money making, prospering offers based off your unique astrology. So we're going to do that in a minute. I just want to get the tactical practical because this is important. And here's the thing. Once we start to do these numbers on our vision, our tab 4 vision month, I want to be like, okay, you know what? I want to come in here and actually start to like move some things around. So, you know what? I want to get this credit card paid off. Outside services, I don't think I need to work with XYZ anymore. Do you see how when you start to do this stuff, you start to be able to look and see where you can cut back? And do you see how when we just cut back our expenses, we just upped our profit? Give me a quick 888 if this is landing, if this makes sense, if this feels exciting and helpful. So this is just an overview of how this works. We have to start to be able to look at the numbers, my honey bunnies, to be like, okay, how do I get from where I am to where I actually want to go? It's just like what we wrote down in our journaling for step 1. So yay, good job. So consistency. So this is where we're going to implement repeatable habits that compound into overflow. So number 1, we're going to create a money date to care for our money weekly. Number 2, we're going to create offers and money generating ways to provide value and fill in the gaps in our monthly income. So we're going to do this first with our monthly tracking sheet to see where we are. And then we're going to use the vision month sheet, which is tab 4, to fill in the gaps and start to ideate and think about what it is that we can do. Then 3, we're going to utilize our Venus placement to create offers and money generating ideas aligned with your astrological money blueprint. So one more time, we're going to create a money date to care for our money weekly. Number two, we're going to create offers and money generating ways to provide value and fill in the gaps in your monthly income. So you're going to first look at your monthly tracking sheet, and then you're going to fill in your vision sheet to bring ideas. You're going to look at the numbers, and you're going to start to see where you can start to create more consistency. And especially if you're going negative or you just want to up your profit and up your take home and your surplus, you're going to use that sheet to do it. And then number three, we're going to utilize our Venus placement to create offers and money generating ideas aligned with our astrological money blueprint. So your money date, this is literally how you do a money date. This is how we show money that we care. Remember what I mentioned? You cannot transform what you won't pay attention to and what you won't put your focus on. So your money date is a way to do this. So number one, you're going to keep your money track for clarity sheet up to date with your current numbers. So that was tab 2 that we worked on. That's your money track for clarity. So this is where it's like, okay, these are my core numbers. This is how much I'm making currently. This is what I'm spending both personally and in the business. So you're going to keep that up to date inside of your money date. Number two, you're going to update your monthly tracking sheet. So this is going to be like September, October. So when I just showed you how to duplicate that sheet, my loves, that's my money date. I update my numbers, and then I literally go in and I'm like, okay, this is where we're at for September. These are my ideas, or this is what we're implementing for October. This is what November is going to look like. Oh, we might have like a dip here, or we don't have a launch, or we don't have anything planned. Okay, let me plug in the numbers and see how we can create stability or create surplus. Okay. And then number three, with your money date, write down one core action to increase your income and cultivate more consistency. What is one core thing that I can do, whether it's within my business, within my offers, within my career? What is one core action? Like whenever I do my money dates, my love, especially if there's something there where I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I want to change that. I literally will sit and I'll meditate, I'll pray, and I'll just be like, okay, what do I want to create next? What is on my heart? God, universe, what would you have me create next? What would you have me do? And like, make it spiritual, make it soulful, because this is very energetic, this stuff. Some ways that you can make it special: you can light a candle. You can do it on Venus Day, which is Friday. You can bring your favorite healthy beverage. I love to make a matcha, my fave. I'm a matcha girly. Oh my goodness. No one needs to see me caffeinated on coffee. No, no, thank you. Not even me. Favorite healthy beverage. And then you make it a ritual. And this is your money date. Keep track of your numbers. Number one, update your monthly tracking sheet. Number two, write down a core action to increase your income, cultivate more consistency. Number three, that's your money date. That's your way of caring for your money and giving your focus as to how you can evolve your consistency over time with a plan, with focus, with clarity, and literally see that this is a long game that you're playing. And that little sheet that I gave you, my loves, that is chef's kiss. That is so powerful. The full money, the full money system that I teach is, there's more to it, but that's the best place to start, especially if your goal is to cultivate consistency. Venus is your money making planet. Venus rules money making, magnetism, and our unique creativity. And our Venus energy, this is how we attract resources and feel empowered within exchange. That might sound really like, for lack of a better word, like really strange or foreign to some of us. How do I feel empowered in exchange? But your Venus energy, my loves, wherever it is, both by sign and house, it's your receptive energy. And if we want to cultivate consistency and generate, we have to be in the flow of energy where we're willing to give, but we're also open to receive. And some of us feel safer in one than the other. And our Venus, when we are activating and exemplifying it in our lives, and I'll talk about how to do that, it's really beautiful. We can create so much and feel empowered in the polarity of exchange, which is important. I hope that resonates. I'm in my money making magnetism. When I'm embodying this energy, both by sign and house, I can cultivate offers and money making and money generating ideas from this Venus placement. It's very cool. So, my invitation to you is either if you have your phone, go ahead and take a picture. Otherwise, sit tight. I will get you these exact slides in the replay email. Okay. So, don't worry. I gotcha. So here's how we fill this out essentially. I generate abundance, magnetism, and the potential for consistent financial well being when I embody and here's the thing, you got to know. So I am a Venus in Pisces in the second house. So I'm going to read this to you. I generate abundance, magnetism, and the potential for consistent financial well being when I embody the mystic, creating, intuiting, channeling spiritual wisdom. Okay. So that's the archetypal energy of my Venus. It's the mystic, creating, intuiting, and channeling spiritual wisdom. Sounds about right to me. In the area of, you guys are going to fall out of your chair. Okay. Then we're going to go over to 2. This is the house. Mine is in the second house. So I generate abundance, magnetism, and the potential for consistent financial well-being when I embody the mystic, creating, intuiting, channeling spiritual wisdom in the area of, mine's in the second house, products, investments, luxury goods, money management services. I did my best to make these like open, but more like money generating ideas. So maybe all of them will resonate with you. Maybe none of them will resonate with you. Just like you can always like take to the internet or take to ChatGPT and be like, give me some more ideas for the second house. Give me some more ideas for the eighth house. Give me some more ideas for the 12th house. I did my best without making it too overwhelming. Okay. And then this is going to be your Venus placement statement. And my loves, it should wake up your spirit on some level. That's what I always find. I've been teaching this stuff for a really, really long time. When you are looking at your Venus placement and then you read this statement back to you, I generate abundance, magnetism, and the potential for consistent financial well being when I embody the mystic, creating, intuiting, channeling spiritual wisdom in the area of investments, products, and money management services. Well, what do you know? I have a spiritual money membership, and that has created consistent financial well being. It is the place that I generate abundance for myself and for others. I activate my magnetism. So I live this placement, and not because I read it and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like, no, I was like, this is my soul. Holy crap. Okay. So whether you've taken a photo of this and you're going to do it after, or you're going to wait and you're going to get my slides, I hope you find this really, really powerful. Give me just in the chat really quickly for those who know their Venus placement. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Angela, Venus and Sag in the 10th. So let's read Angela's really quick so we can get the vibe of this. I generate abundance, magnetism, and the potential for consistent financial well-being when I embody the explorer, expanding, teaching, inspiring through wisdom in the area of, hers is the 10th house, high ticket consulting, speaking, executive leadership, scalable business offers. Does that land real quick, babes? Angela, Venus and Sag 10th. Does that have a vibe? She says, yes, absolutely. Fantastic. And so here's your takeaway, my loves. And we're going to land this here unless you want to stay on for a couple minutes for questions and then for the invite. So I do want to ask a quick question before I come in and do Q&A. Rachel, for sure, like fill in the blanks, my loves. If something that I wrote for the houses doesn't resonate, then like find more examples. Like if you have my astrology guide, there's tons of examples in that. You can also Google, you can use ChatGPT. So my question for you really quickly, my loves, do you believe that simply making more money will cure all of your financial issues? What I'll walk you through after we do some Q&A and mentoring and just a little bit about MWMM is that the key to lasting financial freedom, building your wealth system, it's not just about making more money. It's understanding the emotional, energetic, astrological, along with a simple aligned system to manage and grow your wealth with consistency over time. So what we did tonight, we essentially got to take a look at an aspect of personal finance. Because we can see when we have the vision, which is what we worked on with number 1, When we have the vision to be able to get the clarity and then we build the system, oh my God, what can't we create? Give me an 888 in the chat if you can see or feel a more expansive vision. Like I have the clarity and then I can also build the system. I can use the astrological, energetic, emotional, and then I can also utilize a system to organize, to take a look at where I'm going, to see where I am, to make clear goals, to take clear steps based on who I uniquely am, which is what that Venus generating statement's for. You guys, thank you so much for coming to this. This was so much fun. And I really hope that you got a lot out of it. And this was just such a gift. So thank you so much. So, the tenets of MWMM is learning your astrology, mastering your money, expanding your bank account. So, what we focus on inside of MWMM is astrology. It's where I teach astrology. Many of you, maybe you've been with me on IG. I don't really focus on it anymore, only because I only want to teach it to those who want to do something that affirms their life, their vision, their habits. And that's why I only teach astrology in relation to money and business. And this is where I do it, is inside of MWMM. So a core tenet of MWMM is we work with your second house, which is your seen relationship to your finances, self-worth, strategy, organization, financial goals, your business, your career. And then we also work with the eighth house archetypes inside of MWMM. This is your unconscious relationship to money. This is overspending, money fear, resistance, financial chaos, disorganization, avoidance. So we work with these two tenets inside of MWMM. And the tools that we use is we use both personal finance tools, training, strategy, money management, and then we also have the eighth house, the deeper tools like EFT, hypnosis, morning practice, astrology, and spirituality. This is definitely a confluence that you don't really find many places. And hey, you heard my Venus, right? This is my Venus. I'm a Pisces Venus in the second house. So I've really created something, and I've had MWMM for 6 years. We've built something that serves, spiritual, empathetic, empathic women who want to be stable, prosperous, and, wealthy, and actually build a future for themselves, a present and a future. So just like we did tonight, my loves, this is where we focus on the practical, tactical system and the emotional, energetic, and the astrological. That is what MWMM is. We have our tools where we're actually caring for money. That's what we worked on tonight. And then we go deeper into the emotional, energetic, and the astrological. These are just some beautiful testimonials that I've pulled. You can just take a quick skim over them. There are tons more on our sales page. Like I said, I've had this for a really long time, and it's a system that works. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's nurturing, it's nourishing. How many places can you find where you're going to get that energetic, astrological, emotional nourishment while you are evolving and healing your relationship to money? So MWMM point blank, we are a financial empowerment membership. We bring together money, entrepreneurship, astrology, and spirituality. And we are a supportive, inspiring community of women, just like you've experienced here tonight. They're just the greatest. This is my home. My home is in this community. So, as I mentioned a little bit ago, the key to lasting financial freedom, it's not just about making more money. And many of you actually answered no. You were like, no, I know that that's not the only key. There's so much more. And the confluence that we bring together is your unique financial blueprint and a system to manage and grow your wealth consistently over time. So we did a taste of that tonight in the stability method. And this is exactly what we do inside of MWMM. If you want to continue on the momentum that you started tonight, if you want to deepen your entire understanding of your astrological blueprint based on your finances, if you would like to receive my full done for you financial organization system, and you feel like you want a community where you can talk about your dreams, you can talk about money, you can talk about your goals, you can focus on the big picture of your life with other people who are doing that themselves. Like for me personally, That's why I created this space, because I feel like I know what it's like to be surrounded by people who don't want to hear your dreams, or don't like, they're not entrepreneurs. So they don't really know how to have that conversation with you, or they're avoidant of their money, or like what the heck ever. And so entrepreneurship has saved my life in this way. It's how I've met my best friends, is literally by being myself and then joining communities and spaces with other like-minded, like-hearted beings just like me. So I'm going to take you through just the three core tenets of how the membership works. It's very straightforward. It's like a gamified, simple system. I like to call it like our Netflix. So essentially, this is how you rock your goals inside of MWMM. First, you're going to master your money because you're going to choose a money goal to actualize. We have these personalized success tracks based on your goals. So if you want to make more money, if you want to heal your debt, if you want to learn your money astrology, if you want to organize your money and start investing, if you want to stabilize and grow your business, these are the 5 unique success tracks. You don't have to do just one. You can do as many as you'd like, but my suggestion is that you pick one goal and that's where you start. Some example of trainings that we have inside of our portal are like astrology and branding, time management, how to launch, readying for retirement, money astrology and tarot, wealth hypnosis with my soulmate. His name is Leo Max. He has some beautiful hypnosis and trainings in there. Building your core offers, building your business calendar. So it's very entrepreneurship, astrology, personal finance focused. And it's a beautiful portal. It's gorgeously done and it's gamified. So you can really like work through your goals and actually have like a plan. I've definitely bought into things before where I'm like, where the frick do I go? And what the frick do I do? So my Capricorn was like, no, 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 we will not have that inside of MWMM. It will be very, very clear. The second aspect of MWMM is expanding your bank account. This is where you focus and you master your money goals, whether they're money goals you have for this year or money goals that you have for next year. Step 2 is where I teach you my full money system. This is where you track your finances. This is where you learn my full money management system. And I always say, money management can and will make your dreams come true. So whatever you wrote down in your clarity, the next step after money tracking is managing your money. That might sound like a big, crazy, like, what are we doing word? It's so easy. It's so gorgeous how I teach it to you. And this is also the space if you want to heal your debt or you have a big savings goal. I literally teach you, this is a done for you wealth growing money management mastery system. And it's yours to keep forever once you're in the membership. You get it forever and it's a lifestyle change. And then the last tool inside of MWMM is you learn your astrology. So this is where we get to look at our money-making offers, life purpose and our gifts, power and confidence, long-term success. I teach you how to decode your entire money astrology blueprint. And then you also have a personalized membership experience, because just like you heard tonight when I was mentoring Jamie and a couple other babes, I learn your astrology. So if you're active and you bring me questions, like I mentor you based on your astrology. So I'm not giving you like cookie cutter advice unless I feel like you need more strategy and that makes sense for whatever it is that you're asking. But mostly, and I'd say 9.5 times out of 10, I am always mentoring you based off your astrology, because that's what makes this so special, is that you're not here to make money or build a business like every other person. You have a unique blueprint that your soul came through with, and it's really your way to thrive. And that's what we go deeper on. That's what I teach you on. We do it in community. I have live calls. We have Q&As. You bring your questions. You come to what you can, and you'll meet soulmates in this community. Like, it's absolutely remarkable, the women that are drawn to this space. And we work and we have fun and we heal together. And it's the best. Like, it's an honor, honestly, even though I'm here to, make you this offer and in essence, ask you to buy into something. Like, I could not be more freaking proud. And that's what makes selling this so easy for me, because I know that if it's a yes for you and it feels like a sovereign yes in your body and you're drawn to how I teach and my process, I know that if you lean in, you will transform your life and you will transform your habits. So it's very powerful. So these are the core tenets just overall, just 24/7 Netflix style study portal. I don't know if you guys like to study on Friday nights, but I do. So that's why that exists. Live monthly calls with me. We do trainings quarterly. I do Q&As and hot seat coaching weekly. And then we have a very beautiful Instagram community just so you can see announcements in the membership and you feel like you're in the know. I feel like also I've joined things before where I'm like, yeah, what is happening? And our gorgeous Instagram community is literally there so you can stay engaged in the work and, join us for live calls or for happenings in the membership. You will never be overwhelmed because we have something called a success recipe, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. So, if you're afraid that you won't have time, there are actually 720 hours in a calendar month. So I want to ask you this. You can throw it in the chat with me, or you can just affirm it in your heart and body. Do you have 2 hours a month out of the 720 hours to create your future dream life, to show up for what it is that you want to create? Because if there's one thing that I know, my loves, the only way I've ever been able to make remarkable changes is literally the way I spend my time, especially on the things that don't make logical sense in the moment, but are part of my clarity and my dream of where I want to go. We have a very simple way of working this membership. My suggestion is 2 25-minute self-study sessions. You literally put them in your calendar. Friday at 3:00, I'm going to study for 25 minutes. Monday at 6:00, I'm going to study for 25 minutes. You put them in your calendar, you get into the portal. Then you join me for one live call and you bring me a question, or you just come and listen and get into the energy. But tell me real quick in the chat, if there's 720 hours in a month, do you have 2 hours a month to create your future dream? Thank you for staying over with me, my loves. I like to be thorough, but as concise as I can. So, what price would you put on making more money from a place of authenticity, understanding your astrology money blueprint, organizing your money, solidifying your dream business, healing and transforming your money story? Just think in a moment, like, what price would I put on that? You can throw it in the chat if you'd like, or you can just feel into it, because this is what we focus on. And if you're willing to show up and do the success recipe and lean in and let me support you and let yourself be supported by this community, this is what we do. This is what we do. So MWMM, it's a monthly membership. It's a 6-month minimum. This is a lifestyle change. This is not, I'm going to do this stuff for 1 month and it's going to be set it and forget it. 6 months, go all in. It's $88 a month with a payment plan, or you can join us for the year.